2 decades have passed, yet the memories of that pivotal night have remained remarkably vivid. It all began innocently, driven by sheer curiosity and a sense of adventure. Picture 3 close friends embarking on a journey along a forgotten trail, disregarding the age-old warnings from concerned parents. The thrill of exploration and the allure of the unknown beckoned them forward. However, as the night unfolded, they soon realized that curiosity is a double-edged sword. It doesn't always lead to excitement. Sometimes it can veer into darker territories, shrouded in mystery and uncertainty. With each passing moment, the trio's carefree demeanor transformed, evolving from youthful wanderers to something altogether different. They unwittingly found themselves at the inception of a puzzling enigma, waiting to be unraveled under the cloak of night. On a hot summer night, as the heavy air stuck to our skin and the chirping crickets drowned out the streetlights' hum, my friends, Alex, Brian, and I made a bold choice. It was time for our first urban exploration, something we had wanted to do for a while. There had been rumors circulating for years about a mysterious trail on the edge of our small town, past the run-down buildings and old warehouses. People said this path led to a forgotten part of town, filled with abandoned things and spooky stories. Tales of old buildings, rusty cars, and shadowy figures hiding in the shadows. Even though our parents had warned us repeatedly to stay away from the forbidden old part of town, mentioning dangers and secrets, we couldn't resist the mystery. Their silence to our questions only made us more curious, adding to the eerie excitement. So we kept going. At first, the trail was just a rough dirt path covered by bushes and weeds, but we pushed forward without hesitation. As we walked, the familiar town disappeared behind us. The comforting streetlights' glow vanished, and we found ourselves under a canopy of trees. The loud crickets were replaced by an eerie quiet. "It feels like we're in another world," Alex said, brushing off a branch in our way. His words struck a chord. Little did we know the significance of what he said, for what awaited us was a journey that would change how we saw the world forever. As we journeyed through the thick woods for what felt like ages, the trees eventually gave way to a chillingly eerie clearing that sent shivers down our spines. In the midst of this desolate space lay a sight that froze us in our tracks. An old pickup truck, worn by time and covered in rust, its broken headlights resembling lifeless eyes. Beside it, an ancient trailer, once shiny silver, now tarnished by years gone by, adorned with rust and graffiti. A gasp escaped all of us as we stood mesmerized by these abandoned remnants. Who would bring a truck here? Brian's voice quivered, cutting through the silence that surrounded us. But our question hung in the air, unanswered, drowned out by the weight of our shared understanding. This place was not meant for the living. Approaching cautiously, our trembling flashlights illuminated the decaying truck, the shattered windows, and the slightly open door of the empty trailer. The oppressive silence felt suffocating, wrapping us in its sinister presence. "Someone used to live here," I whispered softly. Alex, a mix of curiosity and fear in his eyes, nudged a discarded beer can, causing a foul liquid to spill out. "Maybe they still do." His words lingered ominously, a stark reminder of the hidden dangers lurking in the shadows. With a sense of impending doom hanging over us, we sought refuge on a cluster of sharp rocks nearby, grappling with the daunting choice of advancing into the darkness or retreating from the encroaching malevolence. Little did we realize, the decision we made that night would lead us down a dangerous path with no clear way back. As the trailer door creaked open, breaking the eerie silence, we all turned abruptly toward the unexpected sound. A figure emerged, causing a shiver to run down our spines, a man, his age impossible to determine, dressed in ragged clothes with a dark red beanie pulled low over his eyes. His sunken, tired gaze seemed burdened by sleepless nights. Yet it wasn't his unkempt appearance that rooted us to the spot. It was the malevolent smile that slowly spread across his face, flooding us with dread. It was a grin devoid of kindness, filled with a calculated and sinister air, as if he had been awaiting our arrival. "You boys looking for somebody?" His voice, eerily composed, sharply contrasted the unease gripping us. Panic set in as we fumbled for words, trying to cloak our fear with feeble explanations of passing through innocently. "Odd, because around here there ain't no one to find," he whispered ominously, his smile widening with a wicked glint in his eyes. Our hearts raced together as his gaze pierced each of us, a predatory gleam dancing in his hollow eyes. Then, with deliberate slowness that amplified the tension in the air, he reached down. A thunderous roar shattered the night's calm, the distinctive sound of a chainsaw spluttering to life in his grasp. The menacing hum of the engine reverberated through the darkness, causing a sickening twist in my gut. As his grin twisted into a malevolent smirk, he revved the chainsaw slowly, the noise resonating like a prelude to terror. Methodically, he moved closer, his intentions clear. In that heart-stopping moment, raw primal fear took hold, triggering an urgent instinct to escape. Without hesitation, we turned as one and fled for our lives, the chilling sound of the revving chainsaw haunting our every stride. As we forged ahead through the thick undergrowth, nature appeared to be working against us. The branches whipped at our faces like vengeful lashes, while the roots slyly extended, posing a threat to trip us at any moment. In the distance, the deafening roar of the chainsaw tore through the night, its menacing sound bouncing off the age-old trees, creating a disconcerting symphony that made it hard to judge how close our pursuer was. "You were warned, boys. You should have respected the town's unspoken rules," his voice echoed through the forest, a chilling reminder of the repercussions of our reckless deeds. Brian's voice quivered with uncertainty. What is he talking about? Summoning my courage to glance back, I glimpsed his shadowy figure illuminated by the crimson glow of his beanie in the flashlight's beam. His fierce expression and the casual sway of the chainsaw by his side suggested an unyielding chase that showed no signs of slowing down. "Speed up!" Alex's urgent order urged us on, our hearts racing in time with our frenzied steps. Yet the forest seemed to hinder our escape. The path twisted and turned, the trees looming closer, their lengthening shadows transforming into menacing forms that seemed to beckon us. Every rustle of leaves, every snap of twigs resonated through the eerie quiet, each noise a dreaded reminder of his persistent pursuit. Just as hope seemed to fade, a stroke of luck or destiny intervened. Suddenly the pathway broadened, and we stumbled onto an ancient wooden bridge, our hearts pounding with a mix of relief and apprehension for what awaited us next. In a race against time, with the turbulent river below as a dramatic backdrop, its waters swollen from the unyielding summer rain, our footsteps reverberated with urgency. We dared not pause until a sudden noise to our left pierced the stillness of the night, freezing us in our tracks. A rustling noise. In perfect harmony, we directed our flashlights towards the sound's origin, expecting to see a man, only to find a boy of about 14 or 15. Partially hidden by a tree, his face concealed under a low hoodie. He held a glimmering knife, yet he made no threatening gesture, opting to lower it calmly. His eyes met ours, a blend of recognition and seriousness reflecting in them. Then, with a hint of unease, he spoke words that sent chills down our spines, as if burdened by a profound secret. Keep moving, don't turn back. Some things here are best left unknown. His caution lingered in the air, heavy with an unspoken menace that made our skin crawl. Silent and rooted in place, we witnessed him fade back into the shadows, vanishing as quickly as he had arrived, leaving us with a haunting sense of foreboding. What on earth just occurred? Brian's voice quivered with a mix of fear and confusion, mirroring the chaos in our minds. Unable to provide an answer, my only certainty was clear. We had to keep going, and swiftly. Venturing forth across the groaning bridge, our already frayed nerves, the beams beneath our feet protested loudly, mirroring our anxiety. The feeble light of our flashlights flickered erratically, casting eerie shadows that seemed to move and twist like phantoms in the darkness. And then, as if nature itself conspired to unveil its mysteries, we uncovered the hidden truth below. Rusty fuel tanks stood guard, their aged surfaces marked with decay, next to ragged tarps fluttering like spectral flags in the night breeze. Yet it was the remains of campsites that truly captured our attention. Some seemed weathered and abandoned, while others, ominously fresh, defied explanation. In the midst of this chilling scene, our lights revealed darkened fire pits, their ash-filled centers scattered with what appeared to be burnt bones, a grim sight that sent a shiver down our spines. "This is extremely disturbing," Alex's voice quivered, fear tinging his words. "We must leave immediately." No one objected, only a silent accord rippled through our group as we hastened our steps. But with each stride deeper into this unsettling revelation, the sinister truth of our surroundings unraveled like a malicious tapestry. Discarded garments lay scattered, torn sleeping bags in disarray, and a partially burnt notebook with pages fluttering in the mud, fragments of a life interrupted. Yet it was the unmistakable sense of recent presence that hung thick in the air, sending chills through us. This was not a journey into the past. It felt like an unwelcome intrusion into someone's dark and ominous present. And as the night enveloped us in its shroud of shadows, we realized with growing certainty that escaping this mysterious realm would be no easy feat. As we pushed our pace, the urgency of finding the trail back to town weighed heavily on us. Suddenly, Brian's words sliced through the air. "He's vanished," he uttered amidst gasps for air. Yet I refused to accept it, a seed of doubt firmly planted in my mind. The forest itself seemed to hold its breath, a stillness that was deafening. No chirping crickets or hooting owls, just the harsh sound of our own breathing and the distant rush of the river, a stark contrast to the eerie calm surrounding us. Then, a sharp whisper from Alex. "Look," drew our gaze ahead. Through the dense trees, a faint glow beckoned like a beacon of hope. Streetlights shimmered in the distance, promising civilization and safety amid the darkness of the woods. But before we could fully grasp this glimmer of salvation, the jarring sound of a chainsaw tore through the air, accompanied by a chilling scream that pierced the night. Fear gripped us, propelling our frantic dash towards the reassuring lights, crashing through the foliage in a blind bid for escape, too terrified to glance behind us. Finally, bursting out onto the hard pavement, we collapsed in a heap beneath the warm orange halo of the street lamps, gasping for precious breaths, our hearts racing in our chests. A passing car's headlights illuminated the scene, casting fleeting shadows as it sped by, yet there was no trace of the man we had feared. In that moment of chaotic relief, the silence that enveloped us spoke volumes. The boy had vanished into the night, leaving behind an unsettling stillness that echoed in the depths of our souls. After reporting our harrowing ordeal to the authorities, their subsequent search revealed traces of an encampment in the wilderness. However, there was no sign of the man, the boy, or the ominous chainsaw. Instead, all that lingered were the remnants of a forsaken truck and camper, haunting the clearing like specters of the night. Nonchalantly, one officer dismissed it as the work of mere squatters, attempting to placate our concerns with reassurances of insignificance. Yet, I couldn't ignore the subtle shift in his gaze, a flicker of doubt betraying his own unspoken fears. Persisting with my inquiries, I challenged him. What about the fire pits and the charred remnants, and the blood-curdling screams that pierced the air? What explanation do you offer for those unsettling truths? In response, he brazenly denied any knowledge of such evidence, claiming emptily, no remnants were found. No one was present. His words rang hollow, a facade of falsehoods that he struggled to conceal. The unspoken tension between us hung thick in the air, a silent acknowledgement of the unsettling reality we both knew but dared not speak aloud. Upon reflection, weeks later, the gravity of our parents' adamant warnings to steer clear of that trail became painfully clear. It was a quiet evening over dinner, a hint of wine lingering in the air, when my mother, in a moment of vulnerability, divulged a long-held secret. In a hushed tone, laden with regret, she uttered, "Do you kids understand what transpired out there years ago, back when we were young, like you?" And then she recounted the chilling tale. That seemingly deserted trail held a dark history. In the late 80s, a series of tragedies unfolded with the discovery of lifeless bodies near that very clearing. Young lives, teenagers, and friends of my parents, claimed by an unknown malevolent force. Despite the exhaustive efforts of law enforcement, the perpetrator behind these heinous acts, suspected to be a serial killer, remained elusive, his identity cloaked in shadows. The truth sent shivers down my spine. The cautionary tales, the palpable fear in our parents' voices whenever discussions turned to the woods, all fell into place like a grim puzzle. And the man wielding the chainsaw in the depths of the forest, perhaps he was more than a mere trespasser. Perhaps he embodied a chilling reminder that the haunting specter of the past lingered closer than we dared to imagine. Despite the solemn vow we made to our parents never to return, the allure of that forbidden trail proved too potent to resist. Each passing summer beckoned us back, the haunting whispers of the woods tempting us to venture into its depths once more. However, caution now governed our every step, limiting our explorations to the safety of daylight and arming ourselves against the unknown. Yet as the sun sets and darkness descends, echoes of the past linger, his chilling voice reverberating in my mind with unwavering clarity. "You boys looking for somebody?" His words etched in my memory, a stark reminder of that fateful encounter that forever altered our perception of innocence and adventure. For in the shadows of that trail, it was not us who sought someone out, but rather it was the sinister forces lurking within the woods that found us, forever marking our lives with a chilling tale of unexpected terror. Should you ever wander close to the forsaken fringes of a quiet town, where paved roads surrender to gravel and the towering trees obscure the sky above, should your eyes catch sight of a weathered truck, a dilapidated trailer, or a solitary figure cloaked in a hoodie, urging you to depart that desolate place, heed his warning, for certain paths do not promise excitement or discovery. Instead, they veer towards the harrowing tales that reside within your parents' deepest fears, secrets they had prayed would remain shrouded from your innocent gaze.